All right, in the last video, I showed you direct reward system where the dog was on place in the shaping box, barking. I would mark the behavior. He got paid from me. So now I'm going to do an indirect system where the ball's going to be away from me. I'm going to ask the dog to go to place. He's going to maintain the barking that I like, which is a new exercise, and it being a different picture for the dog. His barking isn't what it was in the last video, but this is how we progress. For him to bark on an object away from me, and then I mark and release him. I also have the utilization of the tone box, so if I have to stimulate him, he just went off the sound, it's on a very low level. If I have to stimulate him how and when, you'll be able to hear it with the tone box. Place. So we left the position early, and I'll stimulate him. Which I'm not going to kill him for the nuances. This is what I want. Free. So I'm not going to crush him if he's off place a little late, or he comes off early, or he's outing slow. I'm not going to raise the stim based on his behavior on that. I don't want him to lose the moment. So, Los, please. Good. So this is a couple days into this, so he's already developing and already offering the behavior that I like of the active barking on the target, away from me. And this is all part of him doing the offering. He wants to repeat the exercise over and over. I didn't tell him to go to place, but he knows this is a starting point, and he likes doing this shit. That's all part of the operant mind. Look. Again, if he comes off, I'm just going to nag him. I didn't place. So what the place board does, it stabilizes his behavior, it caps him, and it creates a little Skinner box where the frustration and the conflict of not being able to leave as much as he wants to creates a lot more power in the behavior, and with no restraints. If I back tie him, he's going to be leaning against the cable or leaning against the harness or the collar. Him being free but knowing he can't leave, it creates all that power and energy. We pop the top like a combustion chamber. He flies into the behavior. That makes much stronger, harder bark. Los. Place. I'll let him find the position on his own. That's what I want. He was looking at me and barking before, which is a mirror of the last exercise where he was looking and barking and I paid him at me at source. I don't even engage that behavior. I want him to find the answer on his own by looking to the target and barking actively. That's the answer for this little exercise here. Los. Place. I saw peripherally he came off. No problem. Very low level on the system. And there I'm asking more and more and more barking, more activity, better cadence, better rhythm, better pitch. This is where we can all customize and tailor make our own barking system. If you notice, I have him on my right side, which is normal. His healing side is left side. I want that flashy and dynamic. So if I put him on my left, he may default into that really myelinated behavior of focused healing. So I put him on the right, which is a whole different chapter of this book. And I want him to think more about the ball instead of less about me. Look. Again, the conflict of wanting to go but he can't creates capping. Revere. getting a little fatigued, you see the barking get interrupted by him looking for oxygen, no problem. I want to keep pushing and pushing and pushing to build that conditioning, to build that power in the barking. That'll be the last repetition, but from what you want to take away from this, again, is a capping idea of isolation on the place board, where the conflict of him being able to go, he's not being restrained, but knowing he can't, because that's the answer to get paid, creates all that power and drive and that energy, which the behavior we want, the target behavior, is getting pushed into all the barking.